Missouri to being a barber here in Arkansas. Okay? So, next we look at the program exclusions. So reimbursement up to $1,000 if it's after the 20th of December 2019, $500 for the others. Costs must be incurred and paid after the date of the PCS orders were authenticated. So again, when we look at that block 28 and we see that date on there, if you decided you're a go-getter, you're one of those folks that, man, I just can't wait, we got PCS orders, I know I'm going to need a new license, honey, I'm going to go ahead and order a new license. If the license was paid for, if anything in connection with that license was paid for prior to the date on the PCS orders, you can't be reimbursed for it. We want you to wait until after the date that the orders are authorized on block 28. Then, if you wind up having to take an additional class or having an additional certification in order to acquire that license, then you can require the reimbursement. Okay? We applaud you're wanting to get ahead of the ball, but let's not get ahead of the pitch. All right. Next thing, not authorized for moves upon accession. So what we're talking about here, you can see retirement or separation in there as well. So if you are at tech school and Little Rock is going to be your first duty station and you're married and your spouse is back home in DC and you go to PCS to Little Rock and she has a license in DC but now she needs a new license in Arkansas, she's not going to be able to apply for reimbursement because your graduation from tech school to your first duty station is an ascension in your career. Just like whenever we talk about retiring or separating, you're not going to be able to apply for reimbursement because it's an accession of what your current assignment is. It's only for PCA or PCS within state to state. Reimbursement is completed through finance. Now, how does the Airman Family Readiness get involved with this? Because we deal with the Key Spouse Organization, which is big for all of our military spouses, and because we also have the employment coordinator piece, we want to make sure that normally the spouses will come to us with the questions. So then we can make sure that you have the right documents. Then we direct you to our local finance office, and you'll turn those over to them, and then they will upload them and send them in for processing. But has anybody ever tried to get a travel voucher taken care of? Yeah, you know how long that can take, right? Yep, okay. So do not expect that once you put in your reimbursement that you're going to get it in your next paycheck. That may or may not happen. It may take a little while. I do know the first spouse that applied for reimbursement here at Little Rock Air Force Base, but because it was a brand new process, it takes a little bit longer. Okay, so again, just know that, hey, you got the records in, eventually it's going to catch up to you. So what are those required documents? A copy of your PCS or PCA orders, a copy of your spouse's previous valid state occupational license, a paid receipt for any items required to obtain that license, and also the option form 1164. Now, we have copies of the option form 1164, and we have, I believe, a great layout of what you need to do if you're needing to get reimbursed, or if you want to find out about reciprocity. Now, reciprocity has to do with when you get ready to leave us and you're going to another base. If you're leaving us and you're going to go to another base, you're going to want to check out the reciprocity website that we have on that paperwork, so that way you can tell, will my Arkansas license work for that state? Because we do have over 26, I think it's 26 or 28 states that share reciprocity. So that means once you pay for your license here, if I PCS to Missouri, I don't have to get a new license. My license will work for up to 1 year after I move there before I have to get when I go to renew my next license, I would have to renew it under the Missouri requirements. So again, it gives us that time, right? So currently here in the state of Arkansas, the governor has allowed the companies here to fast track hiring individuals that have a license or certification outside the state. So you have up to a year, they can hire you without our state license. You can use your own previous license, even if you didn't have reciprocity with us, for up to a year in order to acquire the Arkansas license. So you do have some time, and we are doing some great things for our families here in Arkansas. All right, so to summarize, we went over newspapers. I didn't talk about magazines, probably should have dropped that off. Employment agencies, the internet, and we talked about the relicensing, reimbursement for licensure, and reciprocity. If you have any questions, you can always call us here at the Airman and Family Readiness Center. Even since the beginning of the COVID-19 situation, the AFRC has been open Monday through Friday. We've just went to a minimal manning type setup that we rotate through each week. Excuse excuse me, that's not COVID. Make sure that you call 987-501-987-2667. And if you're on the 913th Airlift Group and it's a drill weekend, you can give us a call at 501-987-1234. Okay? So, do we want to play on the internet for a minute? Awesome. I appreciate the opportunity to excel. All right, so first we're just going to jump right into what we talked about. We started with the federal jobs. So this is what USA Jobs looks like. Now the great thing about this is, and I don't know how many of you know this, I currently am an 0101, that's my federal occupation code, so I'm a 0100 series federal employee. Just like when I was in the Air Force, I was a 2 Alpha 674, and I'm sure we've got a couple of 91 Bravos watching this from over at Camp Robinson. So again, great thing about it that you should know, when you talk about going into federal service and being a GS or a WG, just like you have an AFSC or an MOS, we have a federal occupation code. You can go right over here to the search. When it opens up, you can type in federal occupation codes, or you can go to opm.gov and in their search type in federal occupation codes, and you're going to get a list of all the different codes and series for GS or WG positions. Or maybe if that's kind of complicated, you can give us a call and we can email you the listing that we have and that we give out in our federal resume writing class. What you're going to find, it's very amazing that as you look through all these federal occupation codes, you're going to look at it and go, oh man, I've got 12 months experience as a facility manager. I could do that. I have 12 months experience doing the GPS, GTC, travel card. I could do finance. Oh, I've done administration. I could do a 0300. So there are all these different codes that if we have at least 12 months experience to qualify for a federal position, we can use our military experience in that section. And that's what we would type right here in the keywords. Admin is 0300, so we put 0300 in here. If we left this blank, we're going to see all the 300s in the country. If we put Arkansas, we're only going to see the 300s open in Arkansas, and then we would hit search. I'm not going to teach you anymore. I highly encourage you to come to the federal resume writing class or schedule a one-on-one once we get back out of the COVID and we have classes. Prior to doing that, just schedule a one-on-one federal resume and we can go over that. So now let's jump from USA Jobs to the Central Arkansas CAVHS Jobs. Let's take a look at the VA positions. Boom. It's working. It's working. So now when we come down here, we have vacancies at Central Arkansas Healthcare System. Search all VA jobs, pharmacy, psychology. So we're just going to go ahead and click the vacancies. And it brought us right back over to USA Jobs because they're posting 38 of their jobs in here. We can see here we got medical, nurse, housekeeping, advanced practice, detective, social work, IT, social work, IT, licensed professional, so on and so forth. So now let's jump over to the state website. We're going to show you the Arkansas job link. You're going to love this one. So when we come to this, we're going to click on job seekers, which you saw me just do. And when I scroll down, I can put my keyword in here, I can put my location, I can put the radius, and then hit search. So let's do this. I think everybody watching has admin capability. You know how to answer the phone, you know how to use a computer, you know how to search for things on the internet, you know how to file things alphabetical and numerical sequence, you know how to take a note, take a message, schedule an appointment. Guess what? You're an admin. So we're going to come over here and we're going to put office, and look how it starts to give me some drop downs. Administrative office assistant if I want, and I can go right here and I can hit 50 miles and I can go in here and put Little Rock, Arkansas. And then I can hit search on it. Again, you can pick a town closer to you if you want, it's totally up to you. And look, right here we're looking at 250 matches within the capital Little Rock for administrative assistant. Now we can change the what and find some different ones if we want. Remember over here, we can even break this down by location, state or city, by county, by industry, by those that provide OJT, by the company we want to work for. We can even go by work type, driving required, if there's a license required, if there's an internship. That's amazing, all the things that we can do here. So let's just take a look. If we go by location of city, we can see out of that 250, 147 of them are in Little Rock, 27 in Hot Springs, 14 in North Little Rock, 13 in Conway, 9 in Pine Bluff, 8 in Bryant, 6 at Little Rock Air Force Base. Say what? Searcy 5, Benton 3, Camp Robinson 2. There you go, Camp Robbie hooking it up. Okay. So I can just go right here and click on it, it's going to show me the 2. What are they? Medical Readiness Technician. It requires military service, that's why it says military. Aircraft Mechanic, it requires service because it's a Title 32. Okay, so those were kind of no's for us unless we want to serve some more. But again, you're getting the idea of how to conduct your search using those sites. Let's look at my favorite all-time state employment. And that's right here on Arkansas State Jobs. We're going to go right here to the county. And like I said, I like to go with Pulaski because that's where the capital government seat is. Go search for jobs. Go, okay, yeah, we know we have to create a user ID, log on if we're going to apply for the job. And what we can see here is that the jobs are set up by the title, by the state agency, by the position number, by the class code, the grade, and then a little brief on the county itself. Now, when you see something like this that says continuous, you have to be, that's not, I don't want to say that's not a position. That's one of those positions where they are accepting applications and keeping them on file for anywhere from 90 to 120 days, and they may keep 300. And then when one of those 300 goes over 90 days, they drop it off and they fill it with a new one. That way, once that position does come open or it does get funded, they've already got a stack of resumes to go to. They don't have to wait for them to come in. You can, I'm not telling you you can't apply for it. I'm just telling you right now, it's not something that they're looking to fill in the next 30 days. Okay? Conversely, with USA Jobs tries to fill it within 30 days, but USA Jobs has 90 to 120 days just to create the best qualified list, and then it has to go through the whole process. When I got my offer here at Little Rock Air Force Base, it was on the 8th of February of 2012. I didn't get my job offer until October 10th of 2012. 8 months after the job closed out is when I got my tentative job offer. So again, don't be under the impression these state and federal and county jobs are just going to fill right up, okay? They are taking some time. You got to make sure that you're working through that. There's one thing else I want to show you with this website. There is a glitch to it. If I open anything on page 1 and then try to back out of it, it's going to kick me out of the website. I have to log back into. I have to go back into it again. So go to page 2 and open anything on here that you want. Right? So let's go to Cook. So once I open the Cook, then I can go back up here to the back button, way up there in the upper left, and I can click it, and it's going to let me go back and then continue to surf whatever I want. So then I'm just going to go back to page 1. Then I'm going to come down here to Administrative Specialist 3 with the Department of Finance. Let's open that up. And what we're going to see is over here on the right is our job details. This is the job number. This is the class code. This is the grade. This is the pay starting as a GS4 Step 1 to a GS4 Step 10. Okay? So again, this is annual. That's why it says year. There's no background check required. It's a full-time position. It's with the city of Little Rock. It's in Pulaski County. And look, here's the name of the contact with a phone number. We also have Amy Valentine as the email recipient that's managing this. So the first thing I recommend that you do before you go online, create a user ID, password, and upload a resume is that you send an email or call and contact Ms. Valentine and ask her some basic questions. Yes, ma'am, I'm very interested in this position that has your name on it on AR State Jobs. And if you have a few seconds, I'd just like to ask you a couple of things. First, I'd like to know if you want this as a chronological or functional formatted resume with or without a cover letter, or would you prefer a federal resume format? That way, she knows right off the bat, you're the kind of person that's going to make sure that you're getting them the type of documents that they need. Then you want to ask them, are you looking to fill this position within 30 days of the closeout date? If I'm not selected, will I be notified? And if I am? And then thank them for their time. And then once you get off the phone with them, go back and email her a thank you, or go to the AR State, the Department of Human Services for the state, and send them an email and thank them for the job that she's doing. Pay it forward. You'd be surprised how that comes around and helps you out. The first thing I want to look at as well is to go right over here to the minimum education and experience. And look right here. formal education equivalent of a high school diploma plus 1 year specialized training in business management, business education, this is my favorite part, wait for it, or a related field. I don't even have to look, I know what it says, right? So that means if you have experience in managing an office of any type, at any level, that has something similar to business management, right, or business education, boom, you can use that experience. It does say right here, plus 4 years of experience in specialized and related field applicable to the work performed. So they're asking you to be an admin. Have you done that for 4 years? Have you balanced your checkbook? Have you made appointments for your kids? Done things like that, right? Have you done searches for the best price? Have you talked to people on the phone concerning an issue or remedying a problem? Hey, guess what? You're in there. Look, they even put it in all caps. Other job-related education and or experience may be substituted for all or part of these basic requirements, except certification, licensure requirements. So they've let you know, hey, we'll take just about anything. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to go to the certification and license. And look right here. Do we have anything under certifications, license, or registrations? And none of the admin positions have anything. So again, they do have preferred qualifications, as you can see above it. And if you meet those preferred, that makes it even better. But again, the key thing is don't self-eliminate. Self-educate. All right, that's going to be it for state. So let's roll on and take a look at my next and last favorite website that I want to show you. onetonline.org. Now this is a great website because for the military folks, you can go right here to the crosswalk, select military, and type in your MOS or your AFSC and your branch of service, and it will convert what you did in the military to a civilian occupation that's similar to it. Now why is this website so awesome? Because the Division of